You're listening to Operation Self Reset Good, Better, and Best. What is going on, you freaking awesome people? Welcome back to Operation Self Reset. My name is Jake and Rocky, coming to you live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where each and every week we dive into a different topic in the world of personal development so you can obviously be freaking awesome. It's easier said than done, right? Okay, let's get going here, people. The first thing is this. Number one, we have all been in this kind of state, this reference point, this internal chatter. We all know that we should be doing things better in our home, work, fitness, finances, general well-being, all that jazz. But truly, when was the last time you gave it a couple of minutes to jot down, to give yourself an outline? Probably you haven't, because in our world today, we are quote-unquote busy all the time. If you don't believe me, ask a friend that you haven't seen in a while and say, hey, buddy, pal, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, how you been? And chances are, somewhere in that first or second sentence, they will say, busy. Really, really busy. And the thing is that we're all busy. It's the truth. We're busy living. We're busy watching TV. We're busy on our phones. We're busy on social media. We're busy all over the place. But there are areas where we need to kind of hone in and implement and get better at. And hopefully, out of this show here, this episode about good, better, and best, we can get better at the things that we want to get great at or best at in that regard. So the first thing I want to get over is, number one, we don't have a sponsor for today, so I'm just going to sponsor the show itself. Thank you for being a part of Operation Self Reset. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Second of all, a couple of great things that have been going on in my world, getting clear on a new vision. I am not hosting a live event this year. Why? Listen to my quitting podcast, which was about 3 or 4 episodes ago now. That kind of gives you the quick rundown, but it's not in the vision that I have for 2018. And in a world of being busy, we need to be very focused. And that kind of is the nice little segue into our topic for today. Good, better, and best. To accomplish anything, to kind of get over the hurdles of where we want to go, to vision ourselves as a better individual in the areas of work, friends, health, food, money, friends and family, playing with the kids, business, all those different areas, we need to get best at them. That doesn't even make true English sense, but just hear me out here for a second. So I want you to just pause and to think, when was the last time that you saw 3 different options in front of your face? As in good, better, and best. Now, the most obvious would be in the world of gasoline. If you live here in the States, we have 3 different levels of gasoline. Good, better, and best. If you go to a home improvement store, you're going to notice that they have different toilets. All the toilets do the exact same thing. They all have a mechanism where you sit down and put your booty to the porcelain. They have a lever of some kind. And then the third process is that it has water to move things from the toilet down into pipes, right? I mean, a toilet is pretty bare bones as it gets. But yet, in the home improvement store, next to the label of how much it costs, they have a good toilet, they have a better toilet, and then they have the best toilet. The same applies to windows. You have good windows, you have better windows, you have best windows, to TVs, to cameras, to schools, to sporting equipment, to tires, to lawnmowers, to garage door openers, to toilets. Obviously, we talk about bed fans, pillows, gas, computers, cookware, restaurants, everything that you can imagine. There is a good, there's a better, and there's a best. And if you don't believe me, open up your eyelids, people. It's out there. It's called marketing. It's the way that they differentiate price versus value. It's the whole mind game that you and I bargain hunt after when we go into Target, Walmart, Home Depot, Menards, different home improvement stores, what have you. Looking at vehicles, it doesn't matter. It's all over our place. There's always good. There's always better. And then, of course, there's the top, which is the best. So you're thinking to yourself, what the heck does this have to deal with personal improvement? Personal improvement, personal discipline, self-help, all that jazz. Where are we going with this, Jake? Well, in our lives, to become our best, we need to go through stages. We need to go through the ups and downs, the growing pains, and in the process, we will get better at whatever we choose to become best at. Now, the example would be if you wanted to learn how to ice skate, for example. I'm living here in Wisconsin. It's cold. There's ponds all over the place. They're frozen. People are ice skating. There are people that are just starting. There are people that are amazing at the craft of ice skating. There's good, better, and best there. We know that if you want to become the best skater, you're going to need to put in the commitment, the time, and the energy needed to become the best. It's pretty obvious. But we also know that if you want to get better at skating, you need to go out on the ice a little bit more than maybe a little more than the horrible skater that's falling and slipping all over the place. And if we want to become good at skating, we just need to try. We need to try and go out there a couple times a year, and chances are you'll be good. You'll be a decent skater, a person that can hold their own, that can stand on skates, and do circles and probably fall down every once in a while. But nonetheless, you're good. You're decent, right? And the same applies to our own personal life. Like I said earlier, the areas that we all want to enjoy or at least get better at would be, are probably the highest priority that we want to improve would be on our home, our family, our kids. Our second area within that would be being present with our kids. Work is obviously a big priority because that allows us to have income, and income is good because it allows us to live and do things and eat. Friends, external friends that are not a part of our home, we want to get and build those relationships. We want to enjoy our health, right? We want to enjoy the food that we're putting into our bodies, and of course making financial sense. And then lastly, our spiritual side. And we know that in the world of trying to have it all and do it all and be it all, it's very tough to isolate these different areas and become best at them, right? Because chances are, if you're best in your home, you're not going to be the best in your business, because when you're home, you're going to be thinking about the business. We get that. I've said this many a time in previous episodes. Before you shut this off and you think, Jake is just repeating himself, hear me out. I'm coming at this in a different way. Recently, I've been kind of going into a self-reflection period of figuring out my direction, my path, where am I going? It's February 12th as I'm recording the show. It's a month and 12 days into the new year. There's obviously many years I have a part of my life. There's a lot more time that I have for the rest of 2018, but this is a second reflection period. I did it in the beginning of the year. It helped me in some regard. But now I'm doing it again. And I realized that to become best at my home life, to become the best that I can in my business life, to become the best in my health and all that stuff, I need to reflect and I need to think of my future vision for myself. Now, a future vision is nothing more than understanding where you are and where you want to go. A future vision is saying you had a magic wand and everything worked to plan, and poof, what would you want? If you had a genie in a bottle, you had the three wishes, what would you ideally want in a make-believe land? It really doesn't matter. The cool thing is it's just you and me sitting here talking and discussing this, but let's really dive deep for a second. What's your future vision for you in those key areas? Now, of course, there are a lot of areas that we can focus in on, but I want to kind of scale back that long list that I had and kind of bring it into three. The first would be the home life, because I really believe home is a sacred spot, right? It is a spot that you can feel comfortable. It's a spot that you bring people into. It's a spot where you make food, where you have conversation, where you can be truly yourself. You don't have to have this facade of external things on you. You can truly be who you are, who you're designed to be in your home. The second would be your work. The reason why I think that's really important is obviously, like I stated, it brings an income to you. It may not be your life work. It may not be your passion. It may not be the thing that lights up your Christmas tree, but it is work that you should be doing and allows you to have freedom in other areas of your life. It allows you to have weekends off, a couple of holidays off, maybe a vacation here and there. It allows you to raise kids that you love so dearly, or allows you to eat organic food. Maybe that's your hobby, or whatever your hobby is, photography or something else. But nonetheless, work is very important, okay? Because you need work to have the ability to listen to the show, or if you're listening to this on a computer at a library, God bless you. I appreciate you for listening. But chances are, majority of these listeners have a cellular device. They're listening in their car, working out, doing things around the home. I get it totally. And the last area is working out. The reason why I believe working out, or at least quote unquote health, is of top priorities because it's something that we know we should be focusing in on every single day. It is truly a daily battle of our health, right? Because if you don't have that mindset of I need to win the day, you can really lose the day very easily, and I think we've all been there. I lost the day yesterday. We went to an ice cream store. I had a deep fried fish sandwich. It was absolutely delicious, but I lost the day. I did not do a good job of eating on that particular day. But it's something that I always focus in on, and I always try to gather and sort out. And I believe the same with you. I believe that all of us have the innate ability of being very conscious of the things that we're putting into our bodies. Of course, there's stress and, depression and anxiety, and you need something quick. I get it, but it's something that we always think about, and we want to make good decisions for our body. Good decisions for our body allows us to have good energy that can flow into our work and home life. So let's focus in on those three areas, okay? I gave you the quick 101 on those areas. Now let's think about our future vision for thyself. What vision do you have for your home life? Maybe for your spouse, if you have kids, for your kids. What type of vision do you have for the people that are inside of your house? Now, the reason why I have good, better, and best is because this is a three-part kind of breakdown. The first is to think of your future vision for yourself inside of your home. So let's walk through it for this example. Maybe your home life is subpar. So you're thinking, okay, I'm starting out. This is going to make my home life good. And to make it good, I realize that, during dinner time, I'm going to put away my cell phone and give my attention to my wife and to my kids, or to my husband and my kids. Great. That I would say would make your home life good. But because we're in this podcast episode and we're trying to do it in a set of 3, that was good. But what do we have to do to make it a little better? What do we need to add to make that time in our home better? Okay, you get home from work, and instead of being kind of crabby and having irritation from the long day and trying to struggle and battle out a couple of emails before dinner happens, and that you're going to be putting away your phone, to make that evening, that day, the new outlook of who you are, your future vision better, then maybe you need to go, okay, before I walk into my home, I need to decompress. I need to do some breathing exercises. I need to listen to a 3-minute meditation or just quiet myself before I walk into my home, because I don't want the garbage from the day to affect my family. And so by doing that, you're making your home life a little bit better. Wouldn't you agree? I would say so, because I know I've been in that situation. You come home and you're just fired up, things are irritating you, your mind is crazy, but yet you know that if you bring that into your home, it's going to ruin the chi. It's going to ruin the energy level inside of the home. So by doing that, plus you're going to be turning off your phone during dinner time, you're going to have a better home experience. Very good. I applaud you. Now let's crank it up. Let's turn it into the next level. What do we have to do to make it the best home experience ever? The best home experience ever? You're thinking, what? Jake, there's no way. There is absolutely no way I can make my home life better if I choose to decompress in the car, if I turn up my phone during dinner time. I don't know what I can do. I need to have time for my business. I know I got to get things ready for the next day. I'm a high-level executive. I'm a high performer, whatever. It doesn't really matter who you are, what you're about. If you're looking for ways to improve, maybe the next way to make your home life, best would be, number 1, decompress in the car. Number 2, turn off your cell phone during dinner time. And number 3, have family time. Obviously, no TV, no cell phones, no distractions, just talking and hanging out, maybe cleaning up the house, talking with your spouse, your loved one, talking with your kids as a human being instead of being a distraction and running around the house like a crazy person trying to get things ready for the day ahead. Set a half an hour, 15 minutes, even an hour would be magical in some of your households. You know who you are. And if you're thinking to yourself, Jake, none of that stuff that you said applies, that's just an example of how to get better at the craft of your future vision. What we're trying to do here is get good future visions, or I should say, best future visions in three areas: our home life, our work life, and our health life. The reason why I boiled down to those three is just because I personally believe those three are the key fundamentals to a good, well rounded life. Of course, are there other areas like finances and other areas of maybe having more deeper conversations with your kids and being present with them and having date night with your spouse and taking time for friends and extended relatives and your hobby and personal passions and spiritual side. Of course, I agree with you full-heartedly. But because in the world of quote unquote busy, here's your opportunity to figure out the best way to enhance your future vision of your home, of your work, and of course your health, well being, whatever you want to call it. The reason why we go through good, better, and best is because we can identify usually a couple things that we can improve upon. And just because you can improve upon in those three ideas doesn't mean that is the best idea. The people that have built space rockets or the world's largest buildings, they just don't say, hey, everybody, thinking of idea of how to make the world's biggest building or the world's best spaceship and come to the table with it next day. They bring in all those ideas and they bring them all together. They kind of melt them down and they have this perfect building or they have this perfect spaceship and they revise it. They try to get it good or better. They're trying to think of the better idea of how to create a better spaceship, a better building. We had good ideas, let's make it better. And then they reform it again and again and again until they figure out the best way. The same applies to you. A lot of us in the world of personal development, we usually ask ourselves what question? What do I want in my life? Who do I want to spend time with? How do I have better relationships? How do I become more of an asset to my workplace? Or whatever the case may be. And we think of one or two answers and we go, all right, cool, I got it. I'm good to go. I'm done with this journaling exercise. But in reality, to get to that next level, to really seek it through, to really find those tidbits, those golden nuggets of brilliance, it takes a couple of revisions to get it to that level. Now, you may be thinking, wow, yeah, revision of my life. I think that's a great way to look at it. Exactly, just like an author. An author just doesn't write out something and just submit it once and he's good to go. He revises it and critiques it and revises it and analyzes it until he has something that he knows that he can stand on. That's legit, that will work through the test of time. The same with you. Chances are, though, we're not doing it. And so instead of me rambling for another 20 minutes or so and extending this podcast out just to hit the quota of quote unquote 30 or 45 minutes, I am going to leave this open for you to think to yourself, how can I improve these three areas? My home life, my work, and of course my well-being, health, whatever you want to call it. And what do I need to do to get it to good, to better, and to best? And I really believe that if you sit down, pen to paper, really etch this out, really revise it, you can pull out some amazing golden nuggets that can enlighten you, inspire you, and to think of, okay, my future vision for myself in these three areas are X, and the way to get there is Y, and I'm going to accomplish it through this process. It's nothing more than just thinking it at a different regard. Instead of just one idea and trying it, think of multiple ideas, trying it, revising it, and going after it. So that's all I got for you guys today. Pretty plain and simple, but I think powerful in the same regard. If you believe so, send me an email. Love to connect with you, jake@operationselfreset.com. Also, too, if there's something that you guys want from me, something that I can help you with in the world of being your best, what can I do? I'm looking for new ideas. I'm looking for ways to reconnect with you guys. I'm looking for things to really kind of shock and awe and to bring a new level of clarity to all of us. Again, I'm not the guru. I'm not the one-stop shop. I'm just a guy that is on a path of helping you guys become better. And of course, in that wake, in that regard, that journey, I am with you improving thyself. So with that being said, I thank you full-heartedly. I appreciate your time. If there's anything that I can do for you, let me know. Send me an email, jake@operationselfreset.com, and or connect with me on Facebook or Instagram. Regardless, I just appreciate you full-heartedly. Thank you for taking time. Go out there and be freaking awesome. If you know somebody that needs a little bit of awesomeness in their own personal life, feel free to share this podcast and or use this material to your advantage and just go out there and serve and share it with people that truly need it, because there's nothing better than taking ideas that work for you and regurgitating it for somebody that could use it. Maybe they're in a difficult spot or not seeing the vision that they thought that they could see in their own personal life. So with that being said, guys, again, I'm done saying that. With that being said, I appreciate you. I thank you. And until next week, Wednesday, be freaking awesome. We'll see ya.